The Sports Scouting Report with Lee Burkeen. Brought to you by Medine's Collision Center in Baton Rouge. Take control, choose Medine's. Grosse Savant Lodge, south of Lake Charles, the true sportsman's paradise. Treads and Care Company in Central, the tires you need, the service you want. Harvey Auto in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you have trusted for years. And Gage in Baton Rouge. Get better connected with Gage. Here's your host, Lee Burkeen.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lee Burkeen with the Sports Scouting Report podcast, our video show. We got Kevin Faulk as our guest, one of the greatest football players to ever put on a uniform at LSU, one of the greatest players I've ever seen in high school football. In my 31 years of watching high school football. And when this guy started playing at Karen Crow, I was getting into business. I started my magazine in 97, Louisiana Football Magazine. And in 95, Kevin, you were on top of the world already. I mean, thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me. Really appreciate
you,
it.
Man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Long time coming.
Long time, man.
Yes, yes.
But your career is incredible at Karen Crow, LSU, obviously the Patriots, Super Bowls, and here you are now, man. I mean, career coached at LSU, coached at Karen Crow for a long time too.
Right.
From 213 to 217, and LSU 218 to 221, and memories, man. What do you have a memory that sticks out going back to Karen Crow? I mean, y'all had some great times, you and Mac, Roland and Tony Corville, that whole staff.
I say it all the time. The memories is just the times you had with the guys. You start thinking about all those times you was together. The day of the game, sleeping in the locker room before the game, warm-ups, traveling to games in high school, college, meeting new people, understanding that there's different aspects of people in the state of Louisiana, because we all know, as growing up in the state of Louisiana, it's not too often we get a chance to go out of state or leave where we are from.
Yeah.
But when you get to college, you see a whole different attitude of people.
New England, that was a experience. Massachusetts. I didn't share this with you, but a lot of people don't know this about me, but I didn't have money to go to college, so out of high school, my first job was building tennis courts in Boston. And Kevin, I never left Baton Rouge.
Right.
And my dad, mom were divorced, and I had to help my mom out. And I got this job from my cousin. He said, it pays this, this, and this, and it pays per diem and money. I said, where? He said, Boston. I said, Boston? I said, it's cold in Boston, huh? And I was outside building those tennis courts, and I was living in Andover, Massachusetts.
Right.
And I was staying at a Marriott, and it was 10 degrees some days 40. We couldn't lay our stuff till it was 45.
Right.
But I told those two guys I was working with from Leesville and Monroe, I said, man, this is something. I'm 18 years old.
Right.
But you were there playing several years, 13 years.
13 years. Crazy experience, but like anything in life, something that me and my family needed. When you get away for a while from where you're from, to see a different culture, which was really a different
Big
culture.
Time.
One of the things my wife loved about the New England area was because we got a chance to see all 4 seasons. You taught about that in school, but you don't see that in the state of Louisiana. And that was one thing that was very unique. How we were raised here.
Food's different.
The food, but how we're brought up, our attitudes, how we walk around. Good morning, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hope you have a good day. You get those ugly looks like first few weeks there, like, you're not from here, huh?
Right.
Like, no, ma'am. Oh, don't call me ma'am, don't call me sir. You're disrespecting me. Nah, that's not disrespect. That's respect where I'm from.
Right.
Just a little thing, and then they start to understand and gradually, take hold to who you are as a person.
You ever seen Phillips Academy over there in Boston?
Yes, definitely.
That's where we built tennis courts.
Oh, for real? Yes.
I worked there a year.
Okay, yes.
And
ain't too many places that I haven't been in Boston. I was one of those guys, like my dad always taught me younger, go ride around. Go see the area where you are. You never know if you're going somewhere where you got to get out of there. And we used to just go ride as a family, see the area because wasn't from there. You see a lot of different things.
Yeah, and like we're doing the show today from a great Italian place, and this place reminds me of Boston. And they got that Little Italy area right there. There's like 100 different restaurants.
Exactly.
And but this is a great restaurant right here, DiGiulio's on Perkins Road by Acadian and LSU. DiGiulio Brothers Italian Restaurant. Appreciate Mike Johnson. We're going to get Kevin in here one day and treat him to lunch. We film in the morning just so people know this. It's taped. But going back to Karen Crow, Kevin, when did you know you were going to be a running back? But you played quarterback.
Play quarterback
for the team.
Probably sophomore, junior year, coach kind of just let me know, hey, look, yeah, you're probably going to be our starting quarterback, but moving forward, when you go to the next level, you're probably going to play a running back position and everything. But my freshman year, I played free safety.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I played free safety. I started at free safety my freshman year, led the team in picks. We had a quarterback that was a senior, Corey Vadrine, that, led us to, I think, the first round of playoffs and everything. But after that, I played quarterback.
I remember some of your teammates, Ernest Lazard, Marcus Camouche, I worked with at Tiger Rag magazine.
Talked to Marcus about 3 weeks ago.
He's still writing?
I know he's still working there. I think he's still not there, but I know he's still
Somewhere.
Working in New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans. And,
Love Marcus.
Yes.
Dexter Babineau?
Yes. Dexter's still in the Lafayette area.
Derek Beavers?
Derek's still in the Lafayette area.
Some good players.
Yeah.
Brandon Joe?
Brandon in Dallas.
I had a good group.
Yes. Brandon in Dallas. Seen Brandon playoff game against Acadiana. Camco Acadiana.
Kevin, you're in the Patriots Hall of Fame, and congratulations, you're in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
222. Where do they do that when you go?
I went to Vegas a couple weeks ago.
How was that?
It was awesome. The experience was, without a shadow, one of the best experiences ever. Talking to some of the older guys, Chuck Ely, Sylvester Grooms, current guys that I played against, LeVar Arrington, Champ Bailey, Marvin Jones. The list can go on.
Man, LeVar with Penn State, he was good. Man. Champ at Georgia.
Quick story, LeVar. I had him laughing at the event. Me and my wife, I forgot what festival it may have been in New Orleans, and we're walking in the French Quarter, and I hear somebody scream, hey, you can't walk away from me.
Uh-oh.
I know that walk from anywhere. I used to tackle you all the time. I used to see that walking back to the huddle.
It's LeVar?
LeVar Arrington and his wife.
From Pennsylvania.
And they're in New Orleans. It's just like, wow, what a coincidence that happened. You know what I'm saying?
And he saw you.
Yes.
He finally got close to you where he could tackle you. Huh?
He tackled me a couple of times.
Freshman of the year in 95. Here's what impresses me, Kevin, about you. You had 431 catches in the NFL, which is incredible for a running back. 3,701 yards receiving, 3,607 yards rushing. That's over 7,000 yards total in your career. At LSU, 4,557 yards rushing. Get this, total yards, 6,833 yards, 53 touchdowns total, all purpose. I mean, you're one of the greatest running backs. You and Herschel Walker own every record in SEC.
Had a lot of help.
Good O-line back in the day?
Really good O-line. When you know how your O-line plays, that's all that matters. You know who to press. You know who to cut back to.
Yeah.
You kind of got a really good idea, and that's, as a coach, you try to teach your kids that you're coaching some of the little things about the game. Because the guys we're coaching, especially if you're coaching at LSU or you're coaching at a Power 5 school that's elite, it's not too many athletes that you're going to get that's not going to be elite.
Yeah.
You just have not to try to mess them up. That's all.
You were known as playing a guy that played big for a guy that wasn't big. You ran between the tackles, too. I mean, you did it all.
I tell all my coaches that say, "You're not that big." I'm like, "Yeah, my statue's not big, but my heart is big."
I grew up watching Dalton Hilliard from Patterson at LSU.
Oh, man.
And then obviously I watched you, and then I was a fan of Charlie Alexander from the 70s from Galveston Ball, Texas. Terry Robisky, who was a great player, coached in the NFL a long time.
Had a good relationship with all three.
Jacob Hester, after you, was a good player. Mealy wasn't a bad back that played
Not
with
at
you.
all.
Rondell
Not at
Mealy,
all.
Mr. Destrehan before the Jeffersons, and before Ed Reed.
Right.
But it was incredible, your career, and obviously Billy Cannon, Jimmy Taylor, and all the great backs, Johnny Robinson at LSU. We can name running backs forever at LSU.
Right. Really, you can name a whole bunch of them. And then you didn't name a couple of guys that kind of like just finished playing about
not long
8,
ago.
9, and 10 years ago. You Leonard's,
Fournette, Geis,
you got Murphy, you got Joe Adai that people forget about. Jeremy Hill. And I'm trying to remember because there were so many of them. I don't want to forget names.
Right. We can't name them all.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But incredible amount. But going back to your coaching at LSU, I mean, you signed Amani Goodwin. What do you think of Amani, who's at LSU from Alabama?
Good kid, good person, great family. One of the things about me and his family is that the relationship was kicked off really first. And it was more than just about recruiting him to come play football. It was just about him as a person, talking to his mom and understanding who he was as a kid. And I can remember his first time telling me, "Hey, coach, I'm going to flip from Auburn to LSU." And I'm like, "You going to flip? Hold up. Wait a minute. I need you to understand this because you were a big-time recruit in the state of Alabama. I'm going to give you a story, and it's about me, a big-time recruit in the state of Louisiana. I leave the state of Louisiana to go play football. It's just written. I might not be able to come back and do what I want in the state of Louisiana. I need you to talk to your mom and tell her what you're thinking, and then you and her make that decision." And for me, I think that's what did it for me with the relationship with him and his mom. Because that very next day, they was like, "We come to LSU."
That's good. You told me, made him think about everything involved.
Oh, have to.
Being from Alabama. Look, when we take a break, I want to come back and talk about your recruiting with Larry Edmondson. We tried to get Larry here from Houston, but he's busy. Larry's got to teach high school. He's in Texas right now.
Right.
And he couldn't make, he's in Katy in that area. But we'll be right back. More Kevin Faulk. Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
What does that bug man do?
Not only do we do pest control, we do odor control, bat removal, moisture control, rodents, and of course, bed bug control. Give the bug man a call. We get them before they get you.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life. Welcome back, Lee Burkeen with the Sports Scouting Report. We're doing our show from DiGiulio's Italian Restaurant Brothers on Perkins Road by Acadian, by LSU. And Kevin's never even been here. He went to LSU, but he's going to be eating here pretty soon because I've been bragging about the meatballs and pizza. And it's early, Kevin, but I'm hungry.
You got me with the garlic bread.
The garlic bread.
You got me with
homemade
the
garlic bread. I mean, really good garlic bread. Need some gum after, but very good garlic bread. Kevin, going back to your recruiting at Karen Crowe, back when you were in high school, you're the number one recruit in the state. You're one of the top 5 recruits in the country. You've had all this success at Karen Crowe. Everybody wants you. Everybody's coming after you. And a man by the name of Larry Edmondson, who was working for LSU with Curly Hallman, signed you. How did that all come down with you, with Larry? And because I heard that was a great story with Larry recruiting.
Oh, it's like we talked about during the break. It wasn't always about winning football games and recruiting. It was about the feel for where you were trying to go, feel for your coaches that you had or were going to have. And Coach Edmondson was one of those guys that the relationship that he built with me and my family was astronomical. Like you said, still kind of conversate with him a little bit. That just goes to show the relationship and who he is as a person, not just as a coach.
Yeah.
Whenever they let that staff go, it was still like, hey man, don't forget about it.
Because before you sign.
Yes, it's before I sign. Don't forget about it. Don't forget about it. Look, I'm not there, but it's still a great place. That's still the place for you to be. And for him to do that after being fired, that
speaks volumes.
Exactly. It speaks volumes, and we talked about it. It speaks volumes for him as a person in general and how he felt about the university.
Now he's a high school coach in Texas doing great. He was at Rice for a long time.
Right.
He put a lot of tight ends in the NFL at Rice.
Yes, some good tight.
Oh, Larry Edmondson, man. That whole Curly Holman staff, they coached. Even Dickey's at A&M still.
Wow.
From the old staff.
I didn't even realize that.
Isn't that crazy? Well, no, he was just let go after about 7-8 years with Jimbo.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of A&M, I got to ask you. That A&M game a few years ago, that 9-12 overtime game that didn't end really good, but they got a picture of you defending yourself with Jimbo's, is it nephew or something?
I guess so.
Was that a crazy moment or what?
Oh boy, that was
a lot of emotions.
A lot of emotions. To see it unfold after the game was crazy. It was wild because everybody ran on the field, blah blah. And for a split second, it was like, go to the locker room or go shake hands. Or go find somebody hand to shake. Right. And in that moment, you see the reaction of a couple of people from A&M, and it's like, and then you catch the whole scene. It's like, what the? And for me, it was like, do you understand what you just did? You don't even know what you just did. And we all know what happened from that point on. Yeah. And one of those things you wish never would happen, but it did. You regret it, but it happened. That's not something that you go out to do.
And you just defended yourself in that case.
I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe that he swung at me. And like I tell people, it was just a natural reaction. Somebody swung at you. Yeah,
instead of shaking hands.
Well, I wasn't going there to shake his hand. I was just going there to question him. I just hit him in the chest and asked him, what the hell are you doing?
Right. A lot of guys had to be restrained after that game.
It's amazing how people know you. Walking into the locker room, I had somebody looked at me and was like, what happened? I know that face. What happened? I'm like, what? Something happened.
Kevin never averaged under 4.9 yards a carry at LSU. He had 5'2", 5'6", 5'6". Those were his 4 years. Did you even, you knew that, huh?
No.
I looked it up.
Most stats that people rail off about me, I really don't know. About the one that I may know the most is just the rushing yards because it's talked about a whole lot. The rushing yards and all-purpose yards. That's the one I may know because it's talked about.
But basically 5-yard average. I mean, that's unheard of, Kevin.
Again, help.
Yeah, I know you're modest.
The play caller, give me the ball at the right time.
You SEC Freshman of the Year in '95. You ran for 1,000 yards 3 times. Your sophomore, junior, and senior year, and you played at LSU all 4 years, and you graduated.
3.5 years. Well, that was one of my biggest goals is graduating. Coming out of my junior year, academic counselor, Dr. Karen, Verge, they all sat me down like, hey, you got 18 hours to graduate. And I guarantee you, they probably can give you that look I gave them too, like 18 hours to graduate. I never came to school to graduate. I came to school to play football. Thought about it, it was like, wow. One of my biggest fans is my mom. And I knew that if I graduate college,
make her proud.
That would make her proud. But not knowing at the end of the day that graduating from college then was going to help me down the road 13 years later.
Right. Speaking of quarterbacks, you saw Jaden Daniels run all year long. You had Herb Tyler as your quarterback.
Right.
Who you think was the faster? You're talking about 2 great athletes. Herb was pretty good back in that pocket, too.
Herb was pretty good, pretty quick and everything. I don't know about faster. Just they both make really good decisions when they need to run.
Yeah.
When they need to run it, because we all know we don't want our quarterbacks running all the time.
Getting hurt.
Yeah. Get hit and get hurt.
Escapability.
Right, escapability. Know when to.
Get to the sideline.
Yes.
Don't try and run over linebackers like you do sometimes as a running back.
Who's that I was watching? Oh, it was Bowling Green, and who was playing yesterday in a bowl game?
I got to admit, I wasn't watching that game. And I watch all games.
State.
New Mexico State.
And New Mexico State quarterback was running like a running back. He was lowering his head and everything. He was lowering his shoulder. I'm like, ooh.
That's not going to last long. Maybe this week, not
But they
next
won
week.
the game, though. They won the game.
Check them shoulders when the game's over, man. Any memories that stick out to you game-wise? Kevin, is there one game? I know everybody asked you about the Florida game. When y'all beat Florida, they were number one. But is there a particular game that sticks out to you at LSU?
Definitely the Florida game. But the number one was probably the Houston game. Going to my sophomore year when I was supposed to be suspended for something that I didn't do. But somehow it got resolved the week before the game. Played the game, had awesome game. At the end, at the beginning, we wasn't doing too well as a team.
I remember that game.
And then,
the adversity.
I know coaches always say you can't flick the switch on.
Yeah.
But that game, it just seemed like something clicked on for us as a team. And we had a really good fourth quarter. And came back and won the game. And now I still hear it from a lot of guys that play on that Houston team right now. And one of them, which was Josh Williams' daddy.
He's like, oh, his dad.
Yes.
Because he's from Kincaid High School.
Yes. And he was on that team.
What do you think of Josh walking on and what he's done? I mean, that guys don't usually
Everybody
do that.
Keeps saying walk on. And I'm not going to say it's embarrassing to him. He chose to come to LSU because he wanted to earn a scholarship. And he loved LSU as a kid. Harvey Williams is one of his favorite players.
Hempstead, Texas.
Yes, one of his favorite players coming up, one of his dad's best friends. So I got it. I understood why, because he had scholarship off from Stanford, University of Houston, some other schools in the East Coast. He turned him down to come to LSU. Once you heard the story, and then once you've seen this kid's work ethic, not on the field, because if y'all remember, tore his ACL his freshman year. We found out his ACL had to partially torn ACL. Had to sit out his freshman year, redshirted. Well, the work ethic started in the classroom, and how he showed his mental aspect of the game, how it was important to him. Mm-hmm. How not just being on the field was important, off the field was a lot more important to him.
And you coached him.
Yes.
You were the running backs coach.
Right.
He kept that room together.
Before I was the running backs coach, I was the assistant running backs coach, and I got a chance to,
right when he came in.
Coach T. Rob would let me come in 30 minutes before meetings and have meetings with the younger guys, and he was one of those younger guys, and you could see it then. For me, one of the things when I first came in, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who was another great back, we forgot to mention.
Forgot to mention him.
Came up to me when I first got here and would ask me, I need to learn how to pick up the blitz. And Josh heard it. Every time that me and Clyde did something, Josh was there.
He listened.
He was there. And when he got the opportunity to play, you seen every last thing that me and Clyde worked on. Josh, I don't know if he did it while he was on his own, but he was there doing it.
Turning to the Patriots, for any guy watching or anybody watching, what was it like being a part of the Super Bowls? What was the Super Bowls like for you? Because it's not something people experience. A lot of people experience Super Bowls.
When you're younger and you had dreams of playing football and you watched the game, the Super Bowl was and still is the biggest game. And to have the opportunity to play in 5 of them and win 3 of them.
Amazing.
Today, still till this day, just the things, the people in the state of Louisiana, me and my son talked about it, that are New England Patriot fans. I'm not saying that they're still not Saints fans, but turn New England Patriots fans because of me.
Yeah.
That feel is just awesome.
I got a story for you about Boston. So me and my girlfriend are in Boston 8 years ago. And we're trying to watch the LSU West Virginia game when they came here. We couldn't find a place because the Red Sox were playing in town with the Yankees. You know how that works.
Right. Oh, sure.
So I'm like, man, it's getting crunch time. It's 4 o'clock. We're in the mall. And I hear a guy talk, and I could tell he was from Louisiana, New Orleans, man.
Right.
I said, man, are you from Louisiana? He said, yeah, we from New Orleans. So I said, you know when we go watch the game tonight? He said, yeah, there's this bar by Red Sox, by Fenway, owned by a Louisiana graduate.
I knew he was
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I can't remember the name of it.
Right.
But it was right by Fenway, and the woman that owned it went to LSU. And we called. She said, oh, no, this is an LSU game tonight. It's going to be decorated. They're going to play the fight song. And I want to share this with you because when I walked in, there were 100 people in this place at least. It was a little bitty place.
LSU fans.
Most LSU fans. 70 of them were from Massachusetts. 30 were traveling. And the 70 said, I said, why are you Patriots fans? Kevin Faulk. I said, Kevin Faulk? I said, come on now, Karen Crow. They said, no, we are LSU fans now because of Kevin Faulk, and they were Patriot fans.
Well, you spent 13 years in a place, and, you know, my mom always said, leave a place better than you left it. And I was just a small piece. There was a lot more guys in there.
Any final words about Tom Brady, Belichick, and those guys? They still at it?
Greatest to do it, both of them. But like anything else, when you break up two of the greats, it's going to show. And it's both. One had success the first year. The other is still kind of trying to find his way. But the other has to find that quarterback that he needs to run his team.
And I want to mention this. A good friend of mine, Ron Sancho, ex-LSU player.
Ron.
I know you meet with him, and I know you're going to be involved in a lot of business.
Right.
Great future stuff you're doing.
We're doing a lot of stuff. Valve company, Energy Valve Solution. Me, my business partners, Sidney Grider and LSU's own Devery Henderson. We all a part of it. We looking out because I'm definitely going to be into some type of football, whether it be training or something. So just be looking out for my Twitter page. It'll be posted and everything. So just really appreciate it, you know. Trying to get back in it. It's been a long year, 4 months for me and my family, but at the end of the day, it's how you come out of it.
And my condolences, again, your dad, you just recently lost your dad. You lost your daughter. It's been a tough couple of years for you. And appreciate you being on our show.
No problem. Appreciate it. I had to come to BR, second home.
Oh, man. Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you, Lee.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Kevin Faulk, one of the greatest ever at LSU, still a big fan. And look, business-wise, support him. LSU graduate, 3.5 years. And who knows, might be having a couple of companies here in the next year or two. Really soon, Kevin Faulk. We'll see you real soon.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Burkeen.